I'm here, but if there's someone who wants to be, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I turned on the transcript. I was so excited, too excited. I didn't start recording. Thank you, Helen, for reminding me. Sorry. Okay, so people, I'm sorry I forgot to hit that recording button, but we just go over the software environment. So please read it. You need to have one of the two combos. One is ArcGIS Online plus ArcPro 2.7 or ArcGIS Online plus QGIS 3.14. All the software, they're free, okay? And you just need to follow here the instructions to install them. Please finish that by the end of this week so that you can finish all your assignments. Okay. All right, and then we are going to use Canvas. I love my teacher Canvas, that app on my phone. So I highly recommend you download the student version. Okay, so you can go here to download student version. And other things is just for you to finish your assignments. Okay. Any other things regarding to our software, especially for people first taking our classes? Ben, good? Yes. Okay. And let's see. Okay, Samuel left and all other people. Okay, you guys know this. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. Let me go back. Oh, right. So this is your instructor. Most of you know me, so we don't have to go that part. But for new people here, you can watch this video. I record this video on Monday morning. I can't wait to see you and to introduce myself. And also, this one is my email. Here is my promise to you. Jean is here to help. So don't stuck there if you have any questions, okay? Email her, or you can click on this inbox to send me message. Anytime. My responding time will be within 24 hours, if not sooner, okay? Yes, so here in my video, I think I also mentioned that I want you to change the mindset. It's very important. Your teacher, well, at least here, Jane, is not here to judge you. I'm here, I'm your teacher, I'm here to help you. Okay, so show your questions, show your problems, even your struggles with Jane. You have to share with Jane. Okay, let her share the struggles, all the frustration, and we can fix the problem together. Okay, I want you to enjoy, because GIS is my favorite. The worst thing, is after our class, you say, Jing, I hate GIS. I will be sad, crying. Okay, happy mapping. You can see that is everything. Every time I send you email, I have that greeting. Happy mapping. That is the happiest thing to me, to Jing. Okay, this DJ heard. Okay, no worries. We have the recording, DJ. All right. Okay. So let's see. All right. Okay. So this is our description. Okay. So here I provide a lot of links for you to explore the GIS applications. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go. I want to go here. Required materials. Okay. There's no required textbook. You have all the things we want to explore on Canvas. So you don't need to buy anything. But if you want to have a book on hand, here are my recommendations. Okay, so the first one is GIS Fundamentals. If you have taken our earlier class, I always recommend this book because it's cheap and also it's very comprehensive. So it's good to get one on hand, and also come with a bunch of exercise you can practice. But those exercises are a little bit boring, I have to say. It's not as beautiful as the thing you can see on ArcGIS, Learn ArcGIS, the lesson gallery. So I recommend that one. My favorite book, Sam earlier asked me, Jean, what's your favorite book? My favorite book now actually is this one, Discovering GIS and ArcGIS. This is a very hands-on book, teach you the basic concepts of GIS and also show you how to use ArcGIS, with very detailed instruction. And here, okay, if you use QGIS, here is another, my favorite book, QGIS 3.x, to teach you how to use QGIS to make a map and also to do analysis, okay? So people, because you are all my favorite people, I'm happy to share the PDF version with you. I bought this book and I mean to share with you when I was in China, but I always have hard time to upload it to my Google Drive. I don't know why, but I think that now in US, I have no problem. So later, let me send you the link. I have two books. I have this one. I also have the cartography with QGIS. So let me share that with you, but don't share outside our class, okay? All right, okay. And those are the basic knowledge you want to know, okay? All right, so GIS software, we have this. Let me go back. Okay, policies, grading. Okay, participation, okay? Just one small thing here. Because we are 3 units, okay? And you're supposed to spend 9 hours per week. So you don't have to go crazy, okay? And every day I will spend like 1 to 2 hours per day to explore GIS applications and to finish my assignments, okay? So enjoy our class, here, let's see. All right, so this is, oh, why is denied? Okay, let me double check. Let me leave the student view. Let's go to our discussion, okay? Huh, that's weird. Should be. Okay, discussion. Oh, I'm sorry. We are in this GIS20 class somehow. Okay, all right. So let me go back, leave the student view. All right, okay, we are back. Okay, discussion guidelines. Okay, course schedule. Okay, so you will see your course schedule on this page, and every week you have the link, the things you need to go over and finish. So I recommend also another thing very important in week 1 to set up your routine. Okay, especially important when you take the course online. You want to plan 1 week ahead. So every Sunday evening, I will send you the message through Canvas, okay, to give you a list, to-do list for the week. And you make your plan for the coming week. And you can always come back to this course schedule mode page to click on the link to do all the coursework here. Okay, so that is your 9 hours per week. Okay, plan that ahead. So you can see this week you have this discussion number 1. Okay, let's go there. And our goal for this discussion is to introduce yourself and getting to know your classmates. Okay, and building our learning community. So you don't just do this by yourself. You don't just do this with Jean. You have all our class to help you. Okay, so here, that is your task. You need to compose 2 posts, Okay, 2 posts. In your initial posts, you need to briefly introduce yourself and your journey with GIS. Okay, and more importantly, I'm so sorry, Sam. Sam, I see he finished the discussion already. But I have more links, more resources for you to explore, because in the afternoon after my GIS geography 5 physical geography class, I just explore GIS, to cheer myself up. I see more resources you can learn, you can explore GIS applications, because guys, now GIS is everywhere, right? It's everywhere. It couldn't be more important. So in addition to this one, Azure GIS and its application in different industry page, click on this one, you will be here. Okay, and then if you hover over this solution, you go to industries, you can see GIS can be used everywhere, right? You must have your favorite, the field you are concerned. For example, Helen may be interested in, I'm sorry, Helen, because we're so, I know you so much, right? Maybe education and also justice, right? Okay, and I see Samuel, he actually very interested in this, intelligence, national government and intelligence. So click on those links to see the case study, okay, to see the application examples, okay, to see how GIS help you solve the problem, okay. But guys, here's the thing, I want your attention now, okay. We don't just do this like people outside this field. We explore those case studies, and you're going to do this every week actually, to learn how people use GIS as a tool to achieve their goal, to answer those questions other tools you cannot answer. Okay, you have to use GIS. Why GIS is so special, and people know what I'm going to say, because spatial is special. GIS is the only tool, I will say, that can solve the problem related to location. You probably have heard that, right? We have this location-based service, or location-based intelligence, or geospatial intelligence, right? So GIS is very, very powerful. It's a very powerful tool for you to solve the questions related to our geographic space. So this is your post, actually, guys, how to learn from those applications. This is the most important, okay, the most important teaching point in this class throughout this whole semester. I want you to build this template in your mind. Also, if you go out, in your working place, you always follow this template or flowchart to answer questions. Use GIS. Okay, so when you study those application examples, you just need to answer those 4 questions. Okay, so what spatial problems is or are addressed with GIS in this application? Okay, and what data were used to answer those spatial questions? Okay, data is the food of GIS, any GIS application examples. So we want to know, okay, this case study, okay, what are the data are used in this application? And when you out there to solve your own problem, okay, to finish your work, your project, you want to know where data from. And also those case studies can provide a lot of resources, a lot of inspiration, I would say, for you to go online to explore the data. In US, we have this wealth of data. We have a lot of data, the explosion of geospatial data. But guys, not in every country. I can speak of China. Chinese government, they're not like that transparent, about their data, right? We are still debating whether the WHO, the team is they can get all the data they want or no. I don't know, but it looks like yes, but I don't know. Okay, and yeah, that is the second one. You want to know what are the data are used in this case study. Okay, and the third one, what are the tools, I should say, and or you probably maybe in some case study you don't have analysis, just like show off the cases, okay, and or analysis method used in this project and how they were used, right? You want to learn from those applications, how they use GIS, combine with those data, cook the data, right, and prepare the meal, the food, to answer the geospatial questions, right? So that is the third question, how the question was addressed, okay, the methods. And the last but not least, the presentation, how they share the result with the audience. Because one map versus a thousands of words, right? So you all have the experience. If you just show a map, you don't have to write like a book for your report, right? That map can tell the story. That map can tell the story. So how they present it, when you do those presentation, it's actually very easy. The principle is to know your audience. What are the questions they are asking, and how do you want to present your findings to your audience? Okay, it's not about you. It's just like teaching. Okay, I learned this, throughout my 5-year teaching experience. Teaching and also GIS presentation is not just a presentation, it's a conversation. Teaching is a conversation, it's not just a presentation. So you need to know your audience. That's why I also create this discussion. I want to know your interests, so that we can develop better conversation in this class. Okay, so how the project results were presented is through maps, just static maps. You just give, city of Santa Monica, those mayors, right, the static map, or you want to provide more charts, the reports, or story map, like later I'm going to show you with this Los Angeles melting pot, this story map. Okay, so to see how those application examples to present their result in an easier way for the audience to consume. Okay, so this is our template for this course, all the assignments. Okay, so let me pause for questions. Any questions? Okay, all right.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I see you have a PC. So when you're teaching us, and if we have Macs,
Yeah.
How do you anticipate that we'll be able to keep up, since it's a different system?
That's a very good question, because I forgot to record on that page. So let me quickly go back. So this is software environment you must read. And here you can see, depends on what kind of operating system. So Danielle, you have a Mac, so I recommend you have this one, ArcGIS Online plus QGIS 3.14. Okay, so have those two together as a combo. But if you want to use Arc Pro, we have another option to use SMC server to remotely access the software, but sometimes can be very slow because all the classes online, that server, not just for our class, for all the SMC classes. So sometimes can be a little bit slow. But Mac have no problem with Zoom. So you won't have any issues to, zooming in to, join our lectures and discussions. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
That's amazing. I'm so happy you bring that up, because we may have other people have the same problem. Thank you. All right. Okay, so then here, let me come back to our discussion since this is your very first assignment. Where it is? Discussion here. Okay. All right. So in your initial post, you need to cover all these questions. Okay. So and you come back later to respond to your classmates. Okay, to provide comments and suggestions to the projects he or she shared, and you could comment on any of the 4 questions I have typed here. Okay, in the initial post and provide information, informative comments and suggestions. Okay, it's just rather than just agree or disagree. Okay, all right, and then if you want to check our rubric, oh sorry. Rubric is up here. Okay, you can show rubric. Click on the 3 dots and then show rubric. Okay, so this is your first assignment. Okay, and all these resources, in addition to this one, we have this podcast. Wow, that's amazing. That can be your, before bedtime, before you go to bed. This can be one thing to listen to if it won't get you too excited, And also ArcGIS have this YouTube channel, okay? And ArcGIS events also have YouTube channel to explore, guys, to explore those application examples, okay? All right, so I explored. Let me show you one example on this ArcGIS YouTube channel. It's right here. Okay, so this is one town in Georgia. Georgia could be more important this year, right? Okay, Johns Creek, how the local government use GIS to better serve their citizens, okay, the residents, okay, living in this little town. So let me share with you, but I need to stop share at this point because I need to share with my computer audio so you won't have any problem to listen. So let me stop share. Let me share again. Click on this link, share with computer sound. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so again, keep those 4 questions in mind. Okay, what are the spatial questions? What are the data used? And how they use GIS to solve those questions and how the result is being presented. And later, after we finish those 5 minutes video, let's come back to have this, very short group discussion. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me play with it. Play it. There we go.
We were looking at major cities across the country, the New Yorks and LAs and San Franciscos of the world, at what they were doing with the same technology we had access to, and thinking, why can't we do that? We've got these tools that make it really easy for us to visualize vast amount of data and to easily communicate that to anybody.
Data is important in making any good decision. Data is the one truth. You can interpret the data in many ways, but at the end of the day, hopefully, if you're looking at data objectively, then you can make a very informed decision.
We use the whole litany of Esri products. We use ArcGIS Online. We're also using ArcGIS Pro for all of our desktop needs. Our major concerns at Johns Creek are 2 things, public safety and traffic. So we're constantly trying to build visualizations, we're trying to do analysis, we're trying to pave roads. We can go through the entire city and just pave every road and it'll cost us $1 billion. Or we can take limited resources, use GIS, and very easily and surgically fix the problems where they occur and save a lot of resources in the meantime.
We're all using the same database because we have it as an open data hub. So I don't have to worry about my public works department using one set of maps and my community development team using another set and police with a 3rd set of data, as well as my citizens. So when someone's pulling something up on Creek View at home, they're looking at that same kind of information. So it's that building of trust and transparency, and they're all connected by that singular set.
In the past, if you're looking to locate a fire station, it's, hey, there's a great spot and the land is cheap, let's build it there. With GIS and all the data that we have, we can look at the density of fire calls and where that's happening. And then we can look at available properties and try to figure out, based on potential response times, where the best location for a fire station would be versus where it would be ineffective or marginally effective. That can be the difference sometimes between a fire truck getting to your house in time and it not getting to your house in time. That's the power of GIS. That makes me feel like, you know, if I don't get anything else done that day, I've actually done something good. I start tearing up here because I'm so emotional. Seriously.
We're looking at density, we're looking at where businesses are located, we're looking at where the parks are in relation to how much does it serve particular residents. We're even looking at things like what kind of lights should we use so that there's not a spillover into the neighborhoods.
There's a variety of reasons that an entrepreneur or any kind of company, even an existing company, might want to go to our data hub and download data. Data is becoming very quickly the new oil. It can be used to test ideas, to find new markets, to try to look at, you know, not only where are the neighborhoods in Johns Creek, but how do the demographics match up with that? If the mayor sees a problem in the city and wants to address it, whether it's traffic or stormwater infrastructure that we need to maintain or whatever, he can look at the data, make those determinations himself, using staff to inform his decisions.
As an example, we knew that we had an underservice of parks in certain areas of the city. We knew that intuitively, but we used the data to sort of pinpoint, given the land that was available, what would be the smartest use of land to ensure that we broaden the service opportunities and recreational opportunities for our citizens.
One of the biggest wins is just seeing people use our technology. We've launched an Alexa skill that ties into our open data portal. The intent behind it was to take all the data, all the visualizations that we have in the data hub, and try to distill that up to the 10 things that people are really most interested in and communicate those. This could help democratize data. What we're doing in Johns Creek is risky in some situations. I mean, we're taking public money and we're trying to build Alexa skills that tie into an open data portal. We're trying to take data, you know, and visualize it in a way that very few places are doing. I think that's a mindset change for most people, because if you've been in government for decades, there's a tendency to think, well, I know where things need to go because I built 12 fire stations in my career. Well, maybe you do, and maybe the data will just reinforce it. But isn't that something that you'd want to know? We're trying to positively turn the wheel so that we're living in a better society that's safer, that has cleaner air, and, you know, is more equitable for more people. That means something. That's where we make the most impact.
Okay. All right, so let me get rid of this. Okay, let me stop share. Okay, all right, okay. I hope this video got you excited, guys. Yes? Okay, so Aaron, I'm sorry, I put you on the hot pot. Okay, and so what are the questions? What are the spatial questions addressed in this video, in this case study? We have a lot, right?
Yeah, wasn't one of them
Yeah.
the where to put the parks and which like parts of the community weren't being as like catered to?
Yep. Okay. Any other questions?
Not off the top of my head right now. I don't remember now.
Okay. So Ben, how about you share with us one spatial questions addressed by in this video, you know, those local governments, those people, they use GIS to answer the spatial question.
They were trying to figure out where to put fire stations to improve call times.
Exactly. You hear that. You know, good old days, they just find a spot, okay, it's cheap, and let's build a fire station. And turn out to be, it's a bad choice because it's so far away from people, right? You won't save people's life if you build a fire station really, really far away from everyone, right? But GIS can help you find the best location. Okay, so that is how GIS helped. You can actually mimic their solution. For example, you want to start your own business. For example, that can be a next coffee shop or a next, I don't know, maybe a food truck, right? Okay. Oh, you have a very cool classmate. His name is George. I don't think he's here right now because he is an Amazon delivery man. He has to use GIS to plan his routes in a clever, smart way. Okay, because he wanted to save his time, save the fuel, save the gas, and to maximum the delivery every day, right? So this is very typical GIS problem. It's called delivery man's problem. vehicle routing problem. Okay, yeah, that's very good. Okay, let's see. Danielle, how about you? What other things?
They were trying to figure out where like traffic hotspots were, so probably for signal optimization or something like that.
Yes, I'm so glad that you spot that one, because that is a very important thing for GIS. GIS, as you know, we can collect the data. Okay, you can see all the the people, they are holding those survey 1, 2, 3, their phone to sample to collect the data in a spatial in a field, and also can manage the data, can visualize the data. But I think the most powerful function is to analyze the data, to see other people cannot see. That is really the power of GIS. So here, since we mentioned the hotspot, and thanks Daniel mentioned that, let's come back to this sharing. Okay, that is done by our students. Okay, using GIS. His name is Javi, and he took our class. Javi or Javi, I don't know. Now I'm confused, but let's share this. His study. Okay, so this Los Angeles melting pot. So you can see here. Let's see. How about this? How about we have this popcorn reading in our class, because I don't want to get you bored. Okay, so this is how it works. This basically is a game. So I need one volunteer to start, and then you throw the popcorn, popcorn someone to read the next paragraph, and we get to know each other. Okay, all right. I see Aaron have his hands up. Okay, Aaron, go ahead.
It's finally time. You've been anticipating it. Imagine your favorite fruit. Really, really. Close your eyes for a second and imagine it. Its aroma fills the air and brings back happy memories or feelings of home. It's right there. It's on its way to your mouth. That first bite. It sends you back to your childhood, back to your family and friends, back home. In that moment, you're connected. We're all connected. For it's food that binds us. It's food that nurtures us, and it's food that unites us all.
Popcorn.
Brian.
Brian. Which Brian? We have two Brian.
Vallejo.
Okay.
Food is an integral part of culture, so much so that one of the first things people do when immigrating into a new home is to establish communities and restaurants to feed them. The US has long been called the Great American Melting Pot, and no other city on earth can match the cultural diversity that Los Angeles has to offer.
Popcorn.
Benjamin.
Food is an integral part of culture, so much so that one of the first things
we finished that one.
Whether you're a newly minted Angelino, a longtime resident, or just someone looking to maximize their experience when visiting this wonderful city, you don't want to miss all the greatness LA has to offer. Large cities like this offer a world of cultural and culinary experiences. And if you haven't explored a city's hotspots, it's like you've never been there at all.
Popcorn.
Petra.
Petra.
All right. Ever got an invite to join friends at an Ethiopian restaurant only to realize you have never even had Ethiopian food before? Maybe not, but there's certainly some great food out there still waiting for you to try. You can learn a lot about the cultural makeup of a city by eating your way through those communities formed around food. You can become a more learned and improved traveler without even needing a passport. Popcorn Helen.
Okay, Helen.
Culinary communities aren't always labeled on a map in obvious ways like LA's Koreatown might be, but with some geospatial analysis, you can get a good idea of where they are. Below, we'll explore what came up for Los Angeles. And for those geospatial buffs out there, you'll find more about how these maps were generated towards the end.
Wow, Helen, your reading is so beautiful. Charming. You know what? Helen used to work for 60 Minutes.
Years in the television industry has allowed me to read these 4 lines. James, did James go already?
Yeah,
I can get it.
okay.
Major culinary hotspots. The intuitive way to read the maps below is to see redder spots as having a statistically significant and higher than expected concentration of a given restaurant type than if these restaurants were evenly distributed throughout LA County. These are hotspots. The areas which are more blue are similarly cold spots. Dark, uncolored areas don't necessarily lack restaurants. They're just
Yes.
areas where the concentration isn't significantly high or low.
Okay. James
Popcorn.
Yep.
Brian.
Another Brian. Jamie is amazing. He can also correction, do the self-correction. That's amazing.
Okay, geez. As you peruse these maps, you will notice that they unveil some interesting trends, but they may also encourage even more questions, especially from seasoned locals who are familiar with these places. There are multiple variables to question here until they can become overwhelming. How does one decide how to categorize each type of ethnic food and its origins? How do we even define the boundaries of a region of the globe, such as what is considered to be in the Middle East? How do we count restaurants that may be enthusiastically identify with one particular ethnic group cuisine, though they may be offer that famous LA fusion mix until it becomes less genuine versus that is Americanized or Californized? How might have these restaurants been forced to change as their neighborhood evolved demographically? Some of these restaurants may have been stranded, now representing cultural enclaves of the past. We will try to address a few of these questions that may arise for each map.
Wonderful. Okay, I think we can stop here, Brian. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So thank you all the people help us read this post at the top. So up to this point, could you guess what are the questions Jerry want to address? Use GIS. Brian, you can popcorn.
Let's give it to Samuel.
Someone. Samuel.
Okay. Yes, one of the question is where are the hot spots for different types of foods in Los Angeles?
Right. Amazing. High five, Samuel. Where are the hotspots of those different ethnic, restaurants in LA? Because LA is a melting pot, right? When I was, studying for my PhD program up there in Wisconsin, I was a TA up there, and my teacher teaching me how to be a TA, she was like, Jane, be careful. Some of your students, they never see a people with different skin color, let alone, I'm from a different country. So that is not that diverse, that community. But here down LA in California, we are a melting pot. That is why we name this post like a melting pot. We have all the culture, mingling around together, such a, peace of harmony, right? Okay, it's a very melting together, and we create our unique culture, very unique culture. And I blamed, I have to confess, I blamed, the Chinese restaurant in LA you can find is not authentic Chinese food. But I need to appreciate, they adapt this local environment to create their new, the food, feed LA people, right? So the spatial question addressed here, like Sam shared with us, that is, where are the hotspots of different restaurants? That actually can be an indicator. Where are those people living? Right? Because at the first, when those restaurants first came out, they must stay close to their people, right? Okay, so for example, let's go down here, because I know Asian people. Okay, why it's not melting? Oh, this is Asian, yes. Okay, not melting, not melting. Okay, so you can see here, this is Asian. Okay, I know to the east of LA, we have like Rosemead, okay, like the east part of LA, we have a lot of traditional Chinese communities, let alone the old Chinatown down here, right? But now you can see UCLA, we have a lot of Chinese students, Asian students, right? So you can see we have, I used to live there in my first year in LA. I see a lot of Chinese restaurants nearby, and also Hollywood, right? Okay, this is UCLA, sorry, this UCLA, right here, and down here. But not that much in Palos Verdes, right? Long Beach, not that much. That's actually surprising to me. That's surprising to me, okay? So you can see this is the hotspot, and you know where the people are, right? Okay, and what other restaurant you want to explore?
What about South Asians?
Okay, South Asian?
Yeah, like people from India.
Oh, I don't know whether we have Indian food or not.
Yeah, I was wondering that because like in my neighborhood, there's a lot.
Okay, you live in Valley.
I live in the Valley.
We have Indian here. We have Indian food. People from Valley, Petra and Brian, can you verify the result?
Yeah, so I live in the Valley too.
Yeah, great.
But like whenever I go to Canoga Park or like the West Valley, yeah, I noticed a lot of Indian restaurants, and Indian food is my favorite food. So
see, amazing. GIS helped. Yes, high five.
Yeah, I also noticed like in Culver City too, whenever I'm in Culver City, I noticed just like I don't know what street it is, but there's just like Indian restaurant after Indian restaurant and like Indian market. So
wow,
the data looks good.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Culver City, I'm not that familiar with Culver City.
Yeah.
But this
in
map
Culver
really...
City, I've also seen a like Tibetan restaurant in like a market, and I've never seen that before.
Wow. Yeah, I know there's a Tibetan restaurant on Washington Boulevard or Culver Boulevard. It's like they have this hidden
think so.
spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're talking about the same spot.
Jing, before you move on, do you think you could drop the link to this story map in the chat?
Of course. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ariana, thank you. I need to share with you. Okay. So here, let me share. So this is story map. Okay, copy story map URL. And then let's go to the chat.
Also, Jing, I have a question.
Yes.
It's supposed to be hot spots and cold spots, but I don't see any cold spots. And how could you have, oh, there they are. I see.
Yep.
So does this mean like there are no Mexican restaurants in this area? Like what is everything else? If the part that's gray has to be either hot or cold or something. So how do they decide?
That is a very, 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 very good question. Because that's regarding to how you define cold spot and hot spot, like we mentioned earlier, right? You can see outside this GIS community, okay, outside this field, people may think, oh, Jane, you have to assign each spot either can be cold or hot, right? But it's not, defined by this method. So if you scroll down to this bottom, I think I contribute that part. Okay, let's go down. Let's see. Oh, here. So about geospatial hotspot analysis. Okay, we use this tool in ArcPro, also available in QGIS, called optimized hotspot analysis. Okay, so those are the statistically significant hotspot or cold spot. It's not, there's no Indian restaurant. It just compared to other hotspot, those highlighted blue spot that is relatively cold. Relatively, we have smaller number of Indian restaurant or whatever restaurant. Okay, so you can see that is highlight this point. Why you want to know the method and how you want to present your result to your audience, right? To your audience. If you just say, oh, hotspot, cold spot, without this section, people get confused. What is hot? What is cold, right? You want to refer to your methods and to help your audience define cold and hot. Very good. Very good. So you can see, people, that is our last question in every case study. You want to know how this, all these results, your maps, okay, your findings are presented to the targeted audience. That is very important. Thanks, Helen, for the excellent question. Any other questions, people, you want to share with us? Maybe we can go over, oh, let me pause, sorry.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Ariana.
Do you think it would be interesting to also do an overlay of like general census data for different ethnic communities and see how far away all of the, you get what I mean?
Yeah, I got it. Exactly, that is this one. Let me also share this one with you. The video we just watched. Okay, copy. And this Johns Creek. You can see at one part of this video, very quick, they overlaid, right? The data, I forgot which one, the access point for the fire station or something, overlaid with demographic data, right? Because you want to know how those services serve your residents, serve different ethnic groups. And you hear, the questions people have been asking, for example, COVID-19 hit African American community especially hard, or Hispanic community especially hard, or versus, other ethnic groups, right? And how about the vaccine? How about the availability of those, vaccine stations, right? Okay, so let me share with you a very good data source that is Esri. Demographics. Usually you download those data from US Census Bureau, right? But here, Esri have demographic data, clean it up already, you can just use it as long as you have an ArcGIS Online account. Okay, so go here to study, okay? You can overlay it with anything you want to know, how that impact your people, okay? Yeah, and coming back to our case study in this case, for example, like Ariana just shared with us, we can compare this map with Vietnamese population in LA, right? Okay, are they overlapped or not? It's actually very interesting. Let me quickly share with you. This is population density map. JavaScript. You guys know which map I'm going to point out, plot it out. So let's see here, density maps. Okay, this one. Okay, let's go to Atkins. Yes. Okay. All right. So this is, if you don't know, this is one of my favorite example. I share this example with all my students, and that is Helen shared with me. Okay, population density. My student always inspire me. So share with Jean all these maps that make her happy. Okay, so let's go down. You can also click on this, bookmark, okay, or you can search here. So I think we have LA here. Okay, so let's see the legend. Let's find Asian. Okay, Asian are the, like a sign color here. You can see Asian is here. Asian is here. Asian is about here. Okay, about here, maybe not that much on the, west side in Santa Monica, Venice, those places. Okay, so let's come back to Vietnamese restaurant. Okay, you can see they're here. You can see they're very close to their people, right? Okay, and let's go back. Thai, yes. Oh, that's very interesting. Along this is what? Which highway? This is 101. People teach me. This is 2? No. This highway?
That's the 101, yeah.
Oh, this is 101. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is Thai restaurant. If you next time drive down to 101, I will try those Thai restaurant. My favorite is the summer roll with rice paper. It's so refreshing. And peanut sauce. That is the soul of that spring roll. Okay. And Korean restaurant, of course, Korean town. Right? Okay. And this Japanese. Oh, wow. You can see Japanese is more to the coastal area. This actually is a good conversation with Javi. We discussed this because you can see census data. We combine all the Asian subgroups in one group. We call them Asian. But if you know Asian, different country, we also have different culture, right? Okay, how we break that big group Asian down into subgroups. Restaurant can be one indicator, right? It's a very smart idea. I think so. You can see I got too excited. Okay, all right, so you can see we use restaurant as an indicator to break that Asian group into different subgroups. And you can see Japanese, this is my interpretation, okay? Because Japanese food cuisine, they have this, you know, like tag, I can say that, you can that word. It's a lot of very healthy. You know, they advertise the Japanese food very healthy, very fancy. So for example, in the past, Valentine's Day, you maybe take your sweetheart to a Japanese restaurant, right? Instead of a Chinese restaurant, right? Chinese restaurants tend to have this reputation. It's very greasy, it's very cheap, you know. If you take your sweetheart to a Chinese restaurant, maybe your sweetheart will say goodbye to you, you know, after Valentine's Day. Okay, anyhow, I'm just, you know, I think so, right? So you can see Japanese restaurants, they expand to the rich community. Like Ariana's, you know, idea, we can overlay that with social income, household income, right? You will see, you know, LA, in the west part, close to coastal area, we have very rich communities, right? And you can see Japanese restaurant compared to other type of restaurant, Asian restaurant, for example, Korean, for example, Thai, for example, Vietnamese, right? All these restaurants, they stay to the east side of LA, but only Japanese restaurant. Okay, you can see they managed to establish those significant hotspots in the west side of LA, right? You help LA people see other people cannot see, where the subgroups of Asian people. Okay, I hope I use this very, very interesting story map to highlight our, you know, the power of GIS to get you excited about our class. Any comments or questions? All right, okay, all right. Okay, so I will be very active. I will be keep sending you those application examples through Canvas. And also, oh, don't forget this, Jane, you have your Twitter account. Now Twitter got cleaner and quiet because, you know, who is out, right? Okay, so my Twitter account is at Jane6. Okay, so follow me on Twitter. You will see I share application examples and also cartography examples every day. And also Twitter is very smart, right? If you follow me, they will recommend you a lot of, you know, GIS account and also cartographers account. So go there to, you know, explore, to cheer yourself up, you know? Okay, so this is our, you know, our first discussion. Okay, use this discussion to build our learning community. Okay. All right. Okay, so I think I have very last thing to share with you. Class schedule. Okay, very last thing is the studying materials for this week. Okay, this week we don't have new things to explore. I just want, especially for if you are new to GIS, I want you to, you know, brush up your knowledge about GIS because that's the foundation for all the GIS applications, right? So I highly recommend you finish this practical lab 0. It's optional, but I highly recommend. Okay, so you have two options. Okay, depends on what your operating system. One is if you use Windows, okay, and you should, at this point, you should have installed ArcGIS Pro 2.7 and have ArcGIS Online account, okay? And you go here to take the training course offered on Esri training site, okay? It's right here. So you just need to sign in up here, okay? And to take this course, you can see it's called GIS Basics. It takes you about like 2 hours and 35 minutes. Okay, they have 5 sections. You have, you learn some basics and you take the quiz, and at the end, you will get your certificate. Okay, you will get your certificate. Okay, and then if you show me your certificate, I give you 15 points, extra credit. Okay, and here, okay, the first 3 sections of this training course will be also the learning materials for your quiz. Okay, so if you're using Mac, just finish the first 3. Okay, you will be ready for the quiz. But speaking of Mac, at this point you should have installed this version of QGIS. Okay, you need to take a few more steps. Okay, take this free with 1 month free trial course on lynda.com. Okay, so this is a free course if you sign up with a free account. Here, yes. Okay, learn QGIS. Okay, go over this. I think it's also like a few hours. You can see each module is like 2 minutes long. So just go over that. Okay, so at the end of the class, you also have your certificate. Show me your certificate. I'm happy to provide you 15 points extra credit. Okay, just to review all the basic things about GIS. But if you have been working with GIS for a long time, you don't have to. Well, you can just jump to the next page to take the quiz. Okay, but at this point, you're wondering, you're asking this question: ArcGIS versus QGIS, which is the best? Especially nowadays, right? Okay, check out this video. I know that's your question. Which one is the best? Okay, it depends on your purpose. My favorite actually is ArcGIS, but I'm also use QGIS in certain occasions. Okay, most importantly, have fun, guys. Have fun. All right. Okay. Okay, so this is the quiz. Okay, so like I said here, you need to take the training on Esri site. Okay, no matter what kind of operating system you're using, to take the first 3 sections of GIS basics. Okay, what is GIS, GIS components, and why use GIS? And then let's see. Yes. Okay, you just need this Learn ArcGIS learning account. And then here you can see, you go to GIS application industry page, like what you do in your discussion, okay, to study those questions, to answer those questions. Okay, this is your last essay question of this quiz. Okay, is this clear? Okay, all right, you have 2 attempts. You have 2 attempts. Okay, but if you are in this in SMC DSPS program, let me know. I'm happy to double the time for you, okay, for each attempt. So usually we have 90 minutes, you will have 3 hours. Okay, so no worries at all. Okay, any other questions? Okay, let me stop share. Okay, all right, so our first class is usually, we just get started, get excited, and get to know each other. Okay, in our following Tuesday evening, GIS evening, guys, not pizza night, GIS night, we share how we use GIS to solve the problem. Okay, okay, so let me share the screen one more time. Okay, that is our schedule page here. Okay, that is in each class meeting. You can see this is my plan. Okay, so you can see here in next week, I'm going to give you a lecture, okay, about how GIS is used to manage spatial data. So spatial DB, that is the spatial database, geospatial database. Okay, how GIS is used to manage spatial data. I give you this lecture, and we are going to explore a few application examples like what we did today. Okay, And also you can see basic geoprocessing operations, that is analysis, okay? And geocoding, very important, okay? And also thematic mapping, that is visualization. This is my favorite, okay? And raster analysis, you can use GIS to, you analyze your remote sensing data, right? Okay, give you a lecture how you use GIS to do raster analysis and show you application examples. Okay, all these lectures and network analysis. That is the last thing. So you can see the first 8 weeks, we have all the concepts, theories, knowledge you need to know to apply GIS in different fields. You can see the following weeks, we are going to explore how you use GIS in different industries. Do you get my design idea of this class? Okay, so first we finish those, theoretical things, okay, to show you cases, okay? And then in the following weeks, we're going to explore each industries. I'm going to invite a lot of people from those industries, okay, to give you a guest lecture. Maybe I'm also have this crazy idea. Maybe I can interview them to have our own podcast. Helen, I need your help. And yeah, how to interview people. I need to take your class. Yeah, and also, yeah, to explore how GIS is used in different industries. And then at this point, you are going to use each discussion to build your own project for this class. Okay, so that is our final project. Okay, we use like 10 weeks, 8 weeks, sorry, 2 months to finish our capstone application examples. Okay, application projects. Okay, all right, any questions for the plan of this semester?
For our final project,
Mm-hmm.
is it going to look like the story map that you just showed us, or are we going to be doing something different?
You have the freedom. At this point, you will know the best way to present your map. You can, if you in this like thematic mapping module that get you excited and you think it's the best way to present your finding results, feel free to use static map or whatever way to present your findings and results.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question too.
Yes, Danielle.
I thought about what I asked earlier and I realized there's still some unanswered parts. So if you're showing us how to do something on ArcMap and I'm in a QGIS system here, because they're not, they look different. So how will we know what you're doing?
Question.
Yeah.
That's a very good question. By the way, I like the map behind you. That is LA, right?
Yeah, the one over here is Metrolink, and that's BART. Yeah.
Oh wow, amazing.
I'm just a transit nerd.
I like maps. I like map people. Okay, so for each lab, you have 2 options. One is ArcPro, the other one is QGIS. We finish the same goal. So basically lab 1 will be how you use ArcPro to manage spatial data. And you have option 2, how to use QGIS to do the spatial database management. Does that answer your question? You only need to finish 1. Or if you have extra time, you can finish both.
Okay, yeah. I'm just concerned that like if you're adding a layer or something and you say add layer, then it's going to look different on mine. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, how do I add a layer? Like,
that's right.
I just don't want to fall behind with that.
Yeah. So QGIS a little bit different. Oh, I forgot to include those 2 pages to get you started with QGIS and ArcPro. Let me send you the, add that to our Canvas. So if you want to know basic thing, how to add data, for example, with QGIS, you can follow the video to learn how to do that. Okay, yeah. All right, so this is my 14. Okay, let's wait and then, any other questions, guys? Okay, basically it's here, layers, add layer, you have many options. All right, if you cannot find it, ask Jing. Jing is here. Jing is your 24/7 IT support. All right, okay, let me stop share. Any other questions, guys? Enjoy. GIS applications in addition, besides cartography analysis, that's also my favorite. Everything in GIS is my favorite. I'm sorry. So enjoy. I hope I can share I have this opportunity, this honor to share my passion, my love with you. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's end this meeting at this point, but we don't finish this week, right? So anytime you have questions, you want to chat with me, or you have ideas, for example, every morning after my swimming, I always have tons, millions of, exciting ideas. So, Jing, I have this idea. Can we chat? Yes, of course. Send me email or message at any time, okay? All right, let me stop recording. If you have questions, you want to talk to me, you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, happy mapping, guys. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.